BookTube. I'm here with my review of the storybook program. So the storybook program is a novel writing software. It is open source and it's free, and I use it as a tool for writing. Now, you don't necessarily have to be writing a novel, because you can use it for anything from, say, an essay to a full-fledged novel or nonfiction or a short story, anything basically that you really need to organize while writing. The screen, when it comes up, is divided into different sections, and I'm actually going to cut in now to show you a screen capture. Okay, so I'm actually going to try and show you the storybook program here. I just have it opening right now. Just going to open my file here. Yes, it's called The Other World. I don't really have a title for it yet. Okay, it takes a little while to do that because you'll see there's quite a bit to it. There's some various tabs and lots of writing and options and such. But it's all worth the little wait that we have. Okay, so here we have our different tabs. The only annoying thing I'm going to say is this little window here, which has ads. You can see they're popping up now. But once they're loaded, and they're not very distracting. Okay, so there's different panels up here, as I said, and I kind of divide them into three sessions. The object panels, which are characters and locations. The writing sections, which are the scenes and the chapters. And then the different views. We have chronological, book view, and reading view. I'm going to start with the character panel here first. So we have my list of characters here. I'm going to open up my first character. I'm not too sure about the name Emil. I might change it. So we have this little window that pops up along the side here. You have your different options here. It's kind of like an introduction page. And then we have attributes. You can see here we can do a basic description of them. I'm going to hop over here to notes. So this is basically where you write down just like your point form ideas. And then you go to description, and this is where you flush it out. So this is my description of my main character. It may not actually be used in the actual story, but it's nice to have a description there. So I'm just going to click OK here to close that window. And I'll show you locations here. Along the same ideas, but with less tabs here. So we have our notes where we have our point form ideas. And over in common where you have your actual fleshed out descriptions. Okay, then I'm going to go to where you actually do the writing. I don't have anything really done in chapters so far, but I will show you that you can write notes here. So I found it really handy to keep all my ideas and what needs to happen in each chapter on the screen. So scenes is where actually a lot of the writing happens. And I really like that it's organized kind of in this nice chart. So your scenes are what happens in each chapter, and you have multiple scenes per chapter. So all this to say here, I'll open up chapter 3, scene 1. And again, it pops up. You have your kind of a title page, I guess you can call it. And then your actual text, which is the actual story. You can click off which characters are there, what annotations you're using, and lastly, again, your point form notes of what's happening in that scene. So as I said, this is where I actually do a lot of the actual writing. Then we have the views. I don't have anything in chronological view, but this is where you can kind of switch around the order of things that happen. Then I have book view, and this is, you can do writing here, but what I actually like about this is that you can actually hop from scene to scene and chapter to chapter all on one screen. So just say you're writing the transition between chapter 2, scene 1, and scene 2. You can keep an eye on both things that you're writing there. Okay, and then my favorite view is the reading view. You can't do any editing in this screen, but it actually gives you an idea of what things read as. So I'm still on a very rough kind of draft here, but you can see here, and you can jump to different chapters as well. And yes, so that's the basic screen. I'll show you a bonus part here. When you close the window, it prompts you, so you're not going to accidentally lose your work. But even if, again, you do actually hit yes, it activates. So now I'm going to switch back to the other video here.
So overall, I really find this novel software to be great because I used to just write either with pen and paper or with a writing processor, and it just turned into a mess with all editing and adding bits and taking bits out. So I'd have all these sheets of paper all over the place and sticky notes and arrows and things scratched out, and it, I thought it would be better on a word processor, but I still had the same problem of where do I keep my ideas. So I began doing some research and I found this software, and it was free because I didn't want to spend any money on something, and I was very pleasantly surprised. So this program lets you keep everything in one place. It makes it really easy to edit, to add and delete things, or to make notes as you're going along, and then to see it all as one piece. So for a writer like me who definitely doesn't like to write linearly, I find it's really helpful because my mind jumps all over the place when I'm writing. So I'll think about the ending, or I'll think about a scene in the middle, and if you're doing that, say, on word processor, it's kind of hard to assign where each section is, whereas this program, as you saw in the screen capture, allows you to kind of jump all over the place while you're writing. So I could add random notes about characters that, may not make it into a book, but actually help you get into the mindset. So you can keep all your notes, everything, in one place. It's very easy to use and easy to adapt to suit your own needs. All the different views I showed you, you can take them out or add other ones in, depending on what you need. So I say the only negative thing, as you saw in the screen capture, is that kind of advertising space. I'd really rather be able to use the whole screen for writing. As I said, they don't flash or change. It's just kind of there, and you can ignore it eventually as you move on. So I definitely say it's a program that you play around with before you actually start using it, because there is quite a bit of adaptability in there, and it's really good to kind of get used to everything. And I'd say use it. I give it a 5 out of 5 star rating. So let me know in the comments below how you go about writing. If you prefer pen and paper, or if you use a software program, or just word processing, or if you even write at all. And remember to keep on writing.